All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter what time it is, just know today is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. As always, God is good and He is good all the time. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. Okay. We're going to cover a sensitive topic. It's about asset forfeiture, right? How none of us are safe from the police motherfucker running up in our John and seizing our property unlawfully, violating our Fourth Amendment right of protection from unlawful searches and seizures, right? No one is exempt. It don't matter your gender, your race, your age, your disability, ability, none of that. None of us is exempt. But before we get into that, we're gonna play the music like we always do, baby. So let's get into the music, man. Oh.
Oui, aye.
Sorry. I can't hear the music on my end because I unplugged my headphones. So forgive me. I gotta switch some things around.
Oui, aye. Cascades on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah. If I know love exists, she dey make my happy. Plenty love she share with me. Nobody else could do this, but I fuck things up. I no fit stop, cause I make things rough. I smoke up and I ghost in love, waiting up. I feel fix am up, to be my fault. Ooh, yeah. Always you streak me on my Snapchat, finna tease me. Too much going on, I want more. This shit too addictive, I want more. How many times should I call your phone? How many times should I text? Carolina, I be dey follow you for our dinner. Will you be my lover? Will you be my lover? Carolina, I be dey follow you for our dinner. Will you be my lover? Will you be my lover? Baby, you dey feel my vibe. When you see me, you dey shy like that. Why you dey do like that? Your friends dey lie, say I'm bad. Baby, you dey feel my vibe. When you see me, you dey shy like that. Why you dey do like that? Your friends just dey lie, say I'm bad. Show me love, don't show me war. Don't make me sad, turn me up. I no go fuck up. Although when I'm in door, Caro, I swear, you alone they make I colo. Yeah, 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 me for life. I know if you do without you. During the night, I swear I really miss you. I'm not a player, me I no go play you jackpot. I'm finna stay by your side. Carolina, I be dey follow you for our dinner. Will you be my lover? Will you be my lover? Carolina, I be dey follow you for our dinner. Will you be my lover? Will you be my lover? Baby, you dey feel my vibe. When you see me, you dey shy like that. Why you dey do like that? Your friends dey lie, say I'm bad. Baby, you dey feel my vibe. When you see me, you dey shy like that. Why you dey do like that? Your friends just dey lie, say I'm bad. Money gone, you friend. Money gone, you bad. We shine up, we dey turn up, we dey feel my vibe. Will you come to that? Will you ride me?
Wasn't that lovely? Oh my goodness. Carolina. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get into this motherfucker video, y'all. Let's go. Boom, share, screen. So what I want to show y'all. This ugly woman. Lord, forgive me. This woman, Kathy Hocho, she shared this garbage. Impressive work by New York State Police Gun Trafficking and Addiction Unit. We've invested an additional $2.5 million in our state budget to support the unit's critical work. Cracking down on illegal guns make all of our communities safe. And then it says state police seizes illegal gun magazines in Washington County, 3 charged with felonies. Let's read this article. It's not long at all. I'm looking at it. You see what I'm saying? So, Greenwich. 3 men were arrested on felony weapons possession charges on Thursday after police seized illegal guns, including 2 fully automatic machine guns and more than 40 high-capacity rifle and pistol magazines in Washington County. Now, they usually are vague with this information because many of us do not know the law. So if they just stamp on illegal guns, most of us are going to just go along with what these niggas said, and that's treating it as an illegal gun. A lot of these weapons that they take it ain't illegal. Like, look at this. Most of these are motherfucking rifles and such. Like, we're allowed to have long guns. You don't need a license to have a long gun. In fact, as long as you're not a motherfucking felony, which I believe is a violation to their Second Amendment right too, because we have the right to bear arms. It is these motherfucking psychos, these politicians and these courts that want to interpret the law and make legislation that is so restrictive, right? And limiting people. Oh, you got a felony charge. I mean, you could have a felony charge of freaking, you could have served time in jail for a crime that you didn't even commit, like criminal possession of controlled substance. That's not a violent crime. Maybe you were a drug addict and they caught you with a motherfucking crack pipe. And now you can't ever bear arms to defend yourself, to be a part of the well-regulated militia, to defend yourself in your country, you know what I'm saying? Because of motherfucking felony charge. They just want less guns out here, so it's less that they gotta worry about. You know what I'm saying? Even though a lot of times you can't get into the military if you're on drugs with felonies and all this other stuff, but they giving niggas waivers for almost everything. Because they recruiting you to get into their militia, to the government militia, to the military with them. But they don't want you in a militia by yourself. Anyways. Members of the New York State Police Special Investigations Unit, Gun Trafficking Interdiction Unit, and the Troop G Bureau of Criminal Justice or Criminal Investigation on Thursday arrested John D. Peters, if I'm saying that right, Senior, 68, John D. Peters Jr., he's 28, both of Greenwich. They were charged with third-degree criminal possession of a weapon, possession of a machine gun, and 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon, all felonies. Now, what is crazy is that up here, 2 fully automatic machine guns is what they seized. Thursday, police seized illegal guns, including 2 fully automatic machine guns and more than 40 high-capacity rifle and pistol magazines. If these things are illegal, why do they only have these 3 charges? Criminal possession of a machine gun. Not both of them, just a. And then 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. What weapon? All felonies. State police also charged Andrew J. Fisk, 28, also of Greenwich, with 2 counts of third-degree criminal possession of a weapon. That's so vague. What weapon? Y'all made it seem like y'all motherfucking, look at this picture, and then y'all sitting here and make it seem like y'all did so much. 2 fully automatic machine guns. If machine guns are so illegal, why are they only being charged with you splitting the 2 up between them? And then what did he get? 2 counts of third-degree criminal possession of a weapon? I don't get it. If you already got third-degree criminal possession of a weapon and machine gun, the son got third-degree criminal possession of a machine gun and then 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. Then this guy got 2 counts of I mean, one, this don't even include all the motherfucking illegal guns that y'all claim out there. And the thing is with the government is once they try to rule one thing illegal, Everything else that you have, even if it is legal, because they charge in the state of New York, because of the New York Safe Act, if you are charged with a violent offense, which these motherfucking criminal possessions falls under that realm, legally, the government can violate your Second Amendment right and confiscate, seize, unlawfully, without due process, every firearm that you own, including the ones that you own legally. They can even strip you of your motherfucking pistol permit. Concealed carry. Or carry concealed pistol permit. Then it says an investigation revealed that 3 suspects were involved in the illegal manufacturing of various firearm parts, including kits that would convert firearms into fully automatic weapons, state police said in a news release. Now, if they were involved in the illegal manufacturing of various firearm parts, why is that not included in these charges that they claim that they were given? Because y'all, it's an attack on our Second Amendment right. Y'all need to wake the freak up. It's an attack on our Second Amendment right. Let me tell you something, right? A lot of people are ignorant. When you read these comments, some people are ignorant, right? But then some people are upset because a lot of people overlook the fact that law-abiding citizens are involved in this. I feel like the only reason why they came in on them guys is because they probably caught wind of them manufacturing different parts of firearms and changing them and all this other stuff. And they was like, hold on, we need to stop this. So we gotta come up in here. A lot of those guns are not legal. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, let me show you something. Facebook, these comments are irrelevant. Let me show you something what the Second Amendment states. Should have typed in Cornell because I love their definitions. Very detailed. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. A well-regulated militia is necessary to the security of a free state, and those that make up that well-regulated militia are the people of that free state. So the people of that free state rights to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, these motherfucking sources that I use will be posted later, but let me tell you something about this thing called asset forfeiture. And this is what they used to take all their other firearms, because we've seen it. These men were at most charged with 3 charges. Third-degree criminal possession of a weapon, which includes the machine gun, and 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. And then the other guy has 2 counts of third-degree criminal possession of a weapon. But then they said that they were illegally manufacturing firearm parts and converting firearms to fully automatic weapons, but they're not charged with this, although it's illegal. And then they supposedly seized illegal guns, including 2 fully automatic machine guns and more than 40 high-capacity rifle and pistol magazines. Yet, these guys are being charged with at most 3 charges. They may be felonies, but they're not really, severe, you know. But they're charged with 3 felonies, and then one guy's charged with 2 charges, yet you confiscated over 40 high-capacity rifle and pistol magazines, which anything pertaining to pistols, unless you're licensed, you can't even own ammo of a pistol in the state of New York. So if these people was doing all this illegal activity, why they only got 2 to 3 charges against them? And if they don't seem minute, or they seem minute, and then you took so many from them, so much from them. Well, let me tell you, asset forfeiture abuse by the government. Yes. Trans youth are under attack, however, this ain't what we on right now. So this talks about who the ACLU is, right? But this is what I want y'all to say. What's at stake? Asset forfeiture is basically an exception. And it's not even a legal exception, but they don't do anything to the police or the government about it. But it's an exception to the Fourth Amendment that allows the police and the government to seize your property without due process. That's the gist. Now, according to the 14th Amendment and the Fourth Amendment, let me show you. The 14th Amendment says, let me add that Cornell on there. The 14th Amendment states, all persons born or naturalized, which means reside in the state, and this includes documented and undocumented citizens in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So all of us that are subject to that jurisdiction. So even if you are not documented, if you live in the United States and you commit a crime, you will be held to that jurisdiction, are citizens of the United States and of that state wherein they reside. So you're a citizen, no matter whether you're born or you're out of here, from you immigrated here, right? No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, which means you can't kill them, you can't take away their freedom by incarcerating them, or their property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. That's the Fourth Amendment. Asset forfeiture violates this one right here, where it says no state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, because asset forfeiture allows the government to take your property without due process. They just get a hunch, a little suspicion that you about to commit a crime, and they could just falsify this. They could just conjure this up out of their motherfucking imagination. But they say, well, I expected this person, you at the casino, you just won thousands of dollars, you got it in a duffel bag, you go home, you so excited that you won, you didn't turn on your motherfucking turning signal. Now the police done pull you over, they see this big old duffel bag, so now they like, sir, we need you to get out of the vehicle. They see your duffel bag, and because of the literally is a court case that states that the police are allowed to search within your close proximity. So if you drive in a vehicle anywhere where you can reach, and if it's in your trunk, they can't do that. But if it's in your vicinity and with plain view, that police officer look, he sees that bag, suspicious. That bag suspicious. It's a big old duffel bag. Duffel bags usually carry drugs, guns, and money. This is how police officers think. So they're like, I got him. This guy probably up to no good. So they're like, sir, I need to search your vehicle. Now they're searching this guy's bag. They see his cash. They say, where you got all this cash? He tells them, hey, I just won this from the casino. They say, no, we believe that you was going to take this cash to go buy drugs, and so now it's confiscated. There's actually cases of this. Let me show you. Before I show you what asset forfeiture is. Asset forfeiture. Let me show you. Cases. Oops. It might be on that same site. Let's stay here. Oh, hold on. I gotta tell you what the Fourth Amendment is. I said fourth, not 14. But look at this. The right of the people is the Fourth Amendment. The right of the people to be secure in their home, their persons, their papers, effects, against all unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. This right of the people to be secure in their home against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. And no warrants shall be issued upon but upon probable cause, supported by oath and affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. Let me go over that because I butchered it a little bit. But the Fourth Amendment says that you have the right to be secure in your person, house, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, unlawful searches and seizures. And this shall not be violated. Neither shall warrants be issued but upon probable cause. What is probable cause? Well, we can ask Cornell. No warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause. It has to be supported by oath or affirmation, meaning it has to be signed by a judge, and it has to describe the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. What is probable cause? Probable cause is not a hunch. It's not suspicion. But it's not a hunch or suspicion. Probable cause is actually what you need in order to get not only a warrant, but to arrest somebody. Probable cause is a requirement found in the Fourth Amendment that must usually be met before police make an arrest, conduct a search, or receive a warrant. Courts usually find probable cause when there is a reasonable basis for believing that a crime may have been committed. So technically, in that example that I gave you with the police seeing the bag, if they wanted to seize it, they had a reasonable basis to believe that a crime may have been committed. So what they're supposed to do is go to the courts and try to get a motherfucking search or or arrest warrant. But asset forfeiture doesn't do any of this. It allows warrantless searches, which, let's see. Sorry. Police abuse of civil asset forfeiture laws have shaken our nation's conscience. Civil forfeiture allows police to seize and then keep or sell any property that they believe alleged to be a part of a crime. Owners need not ever be arrested or convicted of a crime. You don't got to be arrested. You ain't got to be convicted of a crime. For your cash, your cars, and even your real estate to be taken away permanently by the government. Forfeiture was originally presented as a way to cripple large-scale criminal enterprises by diverting their resources. But today, aided by deeply flawed federal and state laws, many police departments use forfeiture to benefit their bottom lines, making seizures motivated by profit than by crime fighting. Don't get me started. For people whose property has been seized through civil asset forfeiture, legally regaining such property is notoriously difficult and expensive, with costs sometimes exceeding the value of that property. My firearms was taken from me unlawfully. I was arrested in August 2020 for what I was charged with is menacing with a deadly weapon and obstructing government administration. Now, what had happened is that my sister was in the process of defending herself against two individuals who planned on jumping her, a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Now, this same boyfriend has been known to motherfucking shoot people, or threaten to shoot people, pistol whip people, always fighting. He's a troublemaker on the street, right? I'm licensed to carry. So in my mind, I'm thinking if he with the crazies, I'm licensed to carry, ain't no problem. I know he ain't no problem. I hear my sister in the altercation. I go and try to break it up. Everyone notices that I have a pistol on me. And long story short, these people, because we've had several issues with them, and when I say we, as in like numerous people on that street had several issues with these people, they didn't like me. And they always said that they felt that the police should give me what I deserve, because the police is always at these people's houses, raiding them, all types of wild stuff, right? And so it was evident to me that they were jealous of me and they wanted me to endure what they have been endured to, accustomed to. So he lied, said that I pointed my weapon in his chick's face, even though all he did was just, hey, she got a gun on her. And I did. At the time I did. I had a Colt 45 right on my side because I'm licensed to carry conceal in the state of New York. It's not illegal for me to possess a firearm. But I'm black, so people just assume you got a gun, it's illegal. They started yelling, she got a gun. People started freaking out. They see a black girl, they hear she got a gun, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, all types of phone calls go in, the police come. I get motherfucking thrown to the ground. The police didn't even investigate. This dude had a pistol on him, which he criminally possessed at that time. They never searched him, no nothing. They just came straight to me, harassed me, threw me on the ground, did poor investigation. Even after I asked them, well, am I under arrest? Threw me on the ground, took my stuff, and I fought with them for 17 months of my criminal matters, trying to get rid of the criminal charges against me. Finally, by the grace of God, April 2022, 17 months later, because of prosecutorial misconduct, they dropped the case and basically was like, well, it's going to be a mistrial, you know, type of thing. So then they was like, we're going to go forward with the OGA. Now, OGA, they charged me with obstructing government administration, which I go into greater detail later. I got a whole video talking about my experiences with arrests. But they charged me with obstructing government administration because that's what the police do. They throw on a bunch of charges hoping that something stick. Half the time, most of that stuff ain't diddly squat. They just hope something stick. They couldn't charge me with resisting arrest because I am seen and heard on the body-worn camera footage asking, am I under arrest? These niggas continuously said no as they continuously maneuvered to throw me on the ground and apprehend me. So they couldn't charge me with resisting arrest, so they charged me with obstructing government administration. The courts knew that they had no case on that, so they dropped it. What they said is that they'll do an adjourned conditional dismissal. So April, they said I stay out of trouble for 6 months, which I'm never in trouble until this one incident because of lies and false allegations. But they said no involvement with the police for 6 months, and after 6 months, it's fully dismissed. So 6 month mark for me is October. 2 months, roughly, currently, right? They took my firearm. I even got a letter in the mail from Monroe County judge saying that I had to turn into Monroe County sheriffs every firearm that I own, in addition to my New York State license to carry concealed because of the New York Safe Act, which says that if anybody are charged, whether it's with gun charges, violent charges, which I was charged with menacing with a deadly weapon, and then they allowed the people to get an order of protection against me when I should have been the one getting an order of protection against them, because me and my family, they was threatening my sister first. I came to help my sister break the situation up and make sure that she was, good, because it's two people, a dude and a girl, coming at my sister, who was known to motherfucking pistol whip people, do all types of wild stuff, right? But anyways, they sent me this letter in the mail, and I got this letter in the mail. I'm not going to show it. I might show it in this video that I'm going to show y'all in full detail. I got to motherfucking, blot out the personal information like addresses and such. But they sent me this letter in the mail saying that I had to turn over every firearm that I own and my pistol permit. And I didn't understand why. I'm like, what? I was never charged, or I was never convicted of anything. I'm just charged. Like, I don't even have a criminal record. Like, what the frick are y'all doing? So I pushed to find out, and I was come to find out the New York Safe Act literally permits this illegal, unlawful transaction. It allows the government to take my stuff without due process. I wasn't convicted of anything. To take my stuff without due process based on just charges that developed out of hearsay. It even has a little clause that says that if a person has an active order of protection against them, that legally they can have their firearms taken from them and their pistol permit. And this is what I fell victim to. By the abuses of the courts, the abuses of legislators, and the abuses of police. Literally. All three governing bodies, judicial, executive, and legislative, failed me. Let me down, y'all. Let me down. And the crazier part about this, it gets worse, is that not only do they take your stuff without due process, but let me show you this thing called forfeiture funding. Oh, it gets way better, doesn't it? Oh, I misspelled it. But look at this, forfeiture funding. In 1984, the proceeds of forfeiture, which means the assets that the police take from you, cash, your cars, your guns, your real estate property, and to pay the costs associated with such forfeitures, including the cost of managing and disposing of property, satisfying valid liens, mortgages, and other innocent owner claims, and costs associated with accomplishing the legal forfeiture of the property. This ain't got squat to do with nothing. Ain't got squat to do with no legal. Actually, I don't even know why I went to the Department of Justice. They're flawed. They're biased. Of course they're going to say legal. Let's mother freaking. Literally. Oh, we still in the Department of Justice. God, that's gracious. Get me out of here. ACLU. Maybe they got something on forfeiture. Well, I know they got forfeiture reform, so we'll leave it at that. But basically, actually, I'm going to show y'all. I want to show you what it is. But it's basically money that's created by the Justice Department from seizures of the proceeds of criminal activity. So remember, we just talked about asset forfeiture, right? And this is what ACLU was talking about. But this is what ACLU was talking about when they said that you don't have to be arrested or convicted of a crime, but the Department of Justice said they're illegal. How? You don't have to be arrested or convicted of a crime for your cash, cars, or real estate to be taken away. The same stuff that is taken away, according to motherfucking Department of Justice, they take that stuff, they pay the costs associated with forfeiture, because you know when they take it, it's like when you get a DUI, right? They pay you and charge you to put all that stuff on you. The same thing with probation, parole. They put that ankle bracelet on you. They pay you and charge you. There's payments for all this. They take your stuff, and to process the stuff they taken from you, the cost of managing the stuff that the property, the cash, the cars, the guns that they had taken from you illegally, or disposing of that property, or satisfying valid liens and mortgages and other innocent owner claims. They use the things that they take from us and they fund themselves. Because not only does forfeiture funding goes into that, but forfeiture goes into your local municipalities. Literally, the funds that your motherfucking police take from you goes right back into you. Look at it. It's crazy. I should have pulled all this stuff up the first time. But look at this. Asset Forfeiture Escrow Fund. And this is basically like, if you read this, I'm going to have all these these links in the description. But literally, the government is so damn broke that they robbing the citizens and they're funding themselves. This is how they pay for a lot of stuff with our tax dollars. This is how they pay themselves with their salaries. They're taking from us. They're turning around and selling it and disposing it. They're taking our stuff that we worked hard for. And they're using it to make profit and to get rich and to fund the same programs and that we think is being given to us. The same tax dollars that pay their salaries comes out of forfeiture funds. Google this stuff, man. There's all types of research around it. make sure you link up with ACLU and reform forfeiture. Just want to show you guys the link because I'm telling you, like, this junk is wild. This junk is wild. So make sure you contact, especially for those who live in New York, but around the world, this forfeiture stuff applies to all 50 states and the rest of the places that are attached to the United States, man. All the little districts and everything, the territories, everything. Contact your Congress. Get rid of this motherfucking forfeiture crap, this asset forfeiture. We need to get rid of that. It's embedded in our legislation. We've seen it. It's embedded in our legislation. Look at this. And get rid of the New York Safe Act. Because that junk literally allows the government to motherfucking to take the firearms and to invade and violate law-abiding citizens' Second Amendment Act. Like, this junk ain't cool, man. This junk ain't cool. Because I fell victim to it. There's an appeal active now. You see? But at the end of the day, man, we need help. We need this repeal because it says whether you have guns for hunting, target shooting, personal protection, anything, you are going to be affected one way or another by New York's controversial Safe Act gun control law. On the second anniversary of passage of the law, which you may recall was rammed through the state legislature in the middle of the night with no outside input, State Senator Tom O'Mara is sponsoring a Senate bill to repeal the Safe Act. There's also an active motherfucking court. Let me see. Yep, court challenge. When was this? I have to read this later. But look at this. In cooperation with the NRA has filed a lawsuit in federal court challenging the Safe Act on constitutional grounds. I don't know how long it's been. 2013 was the initial filing. Oh, they keep updates. So I'm gonna definitely post this. I'm gonna say that. Yeah. We gotta keep fighting, man. We gotta keep fighting. This might be old. But at the end of the day, if you don't take away nothing from this, take away that asset forfeiture is something that is detrimental to all of us, right? Asset forfeiture is literally when the police, they don't have to arrest you, they don't have to charge you, they don't have to convict you. They just suspect you of committing a crime and they seize your property, whether it's cash, cars, guns, motherfucking real estate, it doesn't matter. And they don't care who you are. They taking everybody's stuff, okay? We need to get rid of this. Link up with ACLU and get this motherfucking reform going because this, like I said, this junk is embedded in the legislation. So embedded in the legislation that we've seen that they have an escrow fund, which literally the stuff that they forfeit, they seize from us illegally, violating our 4th and 14th Amendment rights. They motherfucking fund our municipalities and they're paying their paychecks. You know what I'm saying? They're getting rich off of us, hard-working, law-abiding citizens. And if you live in New York State, man, get rid of the New York Safe Act because the New York Safe Act is detrimental. You, a law-abiding citizen, is at risk. It don't matter if it's for hunting, target shooting, or personal protection. I am licensed to carry, and my firearm was taken from me based on false allegations. None of us are exempt, man. Sorry, I'm just looking at something, but none of us are exempt. It don't matter your race, your gender, none of that, your religious background, your ideologies. No one cares. Because at the end of the day, no one mother freaking cares. That's just what it is. So I hope y'all learned something from this. I am about to be mother freaking out of here. You know what I'm saying? I just want to leave you with this. Watch as well as pray. You know what I'm saying? Stand on 10 toes, have faith, and trust the Most High God. Trust in Jesus, because the Bible says you can't get to the Father unless you get through Jesus. Watch as well as pray. Have faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. We, God's children, the righteous, we go by faith, y'all. Have faith, fight, watch as well as pray.